Good day, folks. Mendelson Joe here on June 15, 2019 in the Karen Robinson Gallery east of Parry Sound, Ontario. It's a beautiful gallery. I'm having a show here that lasts up until I think mid-autumn.
Mid-December.
Mid-December, my mistake. I'm sitting in front of a painting called Art is the Healer. I'll just now shut up and see what Mrs. Joe would like me to speak about.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your novel, The Family Embolism, which is available as an ebook.
Ebook? What's a fucking ebook?
That would be a book that is not like a hard copy that you can hold in your hand, but a book that people download to their smartphone or a tablet.
So if you're smart, you download it.
So they can go to iTunes, or they can go to, right now it's available on iTunes and through bookbaby.com, and they can download it from there, and we will be having it through other distributors soon, but that's the two right now.
Thank you.
I'd like you to, can you give us just a little bit of an overview of the story of the family embolism? Overview.
Okay, first of all, it's fiction, which means I make it up out of my little brain.
Yes.
And I make it up. So it's a story of fraternal twins, little children, a brother and a sister, and they're fleeing what amounts to the invasion of the Russians just near the end of the war against the Nazis.
The Russians are invading, yes.
And they are fleeing with their mother. The father has already gone, he fled already, because they're Jews. And these children are about just around age 4. And so the story goes, they flee from Bohemia, which is a place.
Yep.
I think what at that time was Czech Republic, or I can't remember its exact identity because I'm not educated. So they flee and they go on a ship on the Baltic, and then they go to the UK, Britain, the South Shore. Then they flee from Britain and they wind up in Montreal, Canada. And the story of the evolution of the twins, that's what the story is about, in conjunction with the fact that they had great mothering. It's a story about mothering, and the importance of mothering, and of the importance of being free to be who you want to be.
And are the twins are the main characters? Did one of the twins dominate the story more than the other?
No. I think that the male twin becomes, ultimately, he evolves through an innate talent to become a writer. And his writing becomes a huge success with his first book.
What's his first name in the story?
His name is Felix.
Right.
Felix Embolism. But his name changes slightly because there's some occurrences that I would describe as zigs and zags of life, where their mother is killed by a itinerant horse running down the streets of Montreal, and the horse runs over the mother, and they're left as orphans.
Okay, we didn't get them the spoiler alert yet, but that's okay. That's not the main part of the story.
Which spoiler alert?
Oh, spoiler alert is when you're giving away a critical part of a story ahead of time.
That is a critical part, and there are other spoiler alerts like sex and other deaths, because life, no matter what your age is, you never know when it's going to happen. Sometimes it happens in a serendipitous way. People live and die and succeed and flourish. And the other child, the twin, the female twin, I'm trying to remember her name. Do you remember her name?
Dang, I forgot. Who knew there'd be a test?
Okay, well, her name, I haven't read the book lately since I wrote it and rewrote it and rewrote it. So the female character, she supports her brother in every way possible, but it turns out that she becomes I would say, an entrepreneur who runs a brothel. And so the story takes different turns. The sister becoming a madam in a brothel, her own brothel.
Yep.
And the brother becomes a successful writer of what could be called philosophy.
Okay.
And the story becomes checkered with the changes of history occurring in Canada, the world, and their life experiences. One in the brothel, who becomes a multi-millionaire from being a madam in a brothel, and the brother becomes a multi-millionaire from writing a book about the way the world is.
Okay. Well, once again, forgot to give the spoiler alert, but that's those.
But there's more.
Okay, so let's hold back. We don't want to tell the whole story.
There's more.
But just to wrap up,
we're selling broadloom.
To wrap up this interview today, Mr. Joe, just tell us a little bit about the title that you were talking before
Embolism?
about. Like why the family embolism. I understand it's their last name.
I make it up.
Yes, but what was it? Does it connect to some sort of philosophy? You were talking about life being random and you never know.
You want a spoiler alert then. You have to read the book because the book has a very unpredictable ending, and that would be where you will find out the whole picture.
Okay.
And the picture is without any question unpredictable. It's not, and there is no violence that I can remember except when the horse runs over the mother.
Yeah, I think that I agree.
So the story is more about what it's like to be an artist and what it's like to be a very successful entrepreneur.
Well, thank you for this delightful interview and recap of the story. And again, The Family Embolism, available currently as of June 2019 for download from iTunes and bookbaby.com.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.